Boy, is this a good time to be a Final Fantasy fan. And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. If you're new on the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. So last night was the presentation of Square Enix on E3. It was around 2 AM here in Portugal, that's why I'm making this reaction now. And this is not going to be a reaction to any trailer, this is not going to be a reaction to the whole presentation. I just want to speak my mind about these two little games right here. First of all, let's cut to the chase. The remake of Final Fantasy VII. I mean, we can already feel that game, we can already smell it, we can already touch it. It's happening, it's here, it's a thing, and it's mind-blowing. This game right here, this iconic game on the PS1, Final Fantasy VII, was one of the very first JRPGs that I ever played. A revolutionary game for its time, an iconic game on the franchise, the first 3D Final Fantasy game, and finally we are going to re-experience this game once again in modern platforms. So first things first, about the trailer, we got the chance to see a longer trailer of the game, and what can I say, it is mind-blowing. And I must confess that I'm a little bit hyped about this, I know, but I think that the game will deliver, because from the trailer it truly feels like Final Fantasy VII, and that is exactly what I'm looking for with the remake. And again, through the trailer, it didn't look like it was just, you know, a new facelift to the game, like new graphics, new mechanics. It didn't felt just like that. It truly felt like a modern approach to this iconic game. And you know, I'm gonna be honest here, I was a little bit emotional last night because this was my first Final Fantasy experience, and Final Fantasy is a franchise that I love. And it is unbelievable that it has been more than 20 years. I mean, where does the time go? On the trailer, we also got the chance to see Tifa, one of my personal favorites. Tifa looks gorgeous, she looks more badass than ever. We also had a glance of Sephiroth. Well, Sephiroth is Sephiroth. We also got the chance to hear a little bit of the music, and well, it's the same iconic Final Fantasy VII music, but with a new mix. I could hear a couple of new arrangements. I think that it is a full orchestra. And again, the soundtrack of Final Fantasy VII is one of my personal favorites on the franchise. So let's jump to the part that got me a little bit apprehensive. And I'm talking about, of course, the fighting mechanics. It's real action strategy, but with a little bit of turn-based on the mix. And a lot of fans were wishing for a more traditional turn-based fighting system, but I mean, let's face it guys, we all knew that it was not going to happen. And I'm not being a fanboy here, I'm being totally honest. I'm totally okay with that. The fighting system of Final Fantasy VII Remake, it totally reminds me of Final Fantasy 15. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, it depends, you know, it depends from person to person. For example, like the fact that we can switch characters in real time. They didn't reveal a lot of the materia system, but the materia is there, and it has to be there because that's one of the things that it is recognizable about Final Fantasy VII, and it is also part of the story. The slow motion thing, well, it's optional. Me personally, I don't think that I'm going to use it a lot, because I think it is one of those things that, you know, can be a little bit repetitive. But again, it's just my personal taste. My concern from the gameplay footage was actually the camera. And by now, I think that this is already the final footage. This is the thing. And I don't know, it just seemed a little bit clunky to me. But it depends on the situations, because for example, in the boss fights, and they revealed the first boss fight, which was awesome by the way, in that fight the camera looked okay. Then in other situations, especially when the characters were moving, I don't know, I really got a little bit apprehensive. Maybe they can fix that, maybe it's not going to be all that bad, maybe we'll have, you know, camera options. But yeah, it is what it is. It's my only concern. Talking about the graphics, well, the graphics are beautiful, what can I say? What can I really say? I mean, they look amazing, they really do, and I never thought in a million years that we would get a Final Fantasy VII with this presentation. It's even better than Advent Children, and it's crazy. Release date for the game is going to be released next year, March 3rd, 2020. And yeah, we all saw this coming, it's going to be episodically, but let's face it guys, the first episode, this is going to be all around Midgar. 2 full Blu-ray discs of content. And that is insane. That is crazy. I remember when Blu-rays appeared and we thought that, you know, this is huge, this is massive. We don't need Blu-rays. Well, it's 2019 and I mean, we need Blu-rays. We really need them. And this made me go back in time to the original Final Fantasy VII because let's see if you guys remember this. Over 120 minutes of mind-blowing cinematic sequences. Right here. And this was a long game, this was a very long game. 4 discs. I remember that it took me more than 6 months when I first played Final Fantasy VII. I was a young kid at the time, a young Portuguese kid, and we never got subtitles for this. Physical release of the game, we are going to have a first-class collector's edition, a bunch of extras, a bunch of exclusive content, a steelbook, the physical game of course, a statue of Cloud in the bike, and it's also going to be $300. I'm not going to complain here because, I have a couple of collector's editions, but when it comes to the whole, statues and action figures, I really don't have the space for that. So this first class edition, it is not for me. But $300 plus shipping, we're talking about, I don't know, 300 plus euros. I mean, I can get a PS4 with that. That is the price of an actual console. I mean, I think it's going to be more expensive than the competition, than the Nintendo Switch. And I'm talking about the actual console, the actual Nintendo Switch. And it's crazy, I think that it is a little bit expensive, but it's going to sell, like I told you. It is not for me, but maybe it is for you. I think that we are also going to get a deluxe edition, pretty much like we got with Kingdom Hearts 3. That is probably the one that I'm going to pick. So to sum it up, the Final Fantasy VII presentation on Square Enix, presentation on last E3, I mean, mind-blowing. It is really the word, mind-blowing. I'm super hyped about this. I'm emotional about this. Emotional? Yeah, I'm emotional about this. And it's okay for you if you're not. It's okay for you if you're pissed about this remake. Maybe it is not for you, but it is definitely for me, and also for a lot of Final Fantasy VII fans out there. Speaking about remakes, well, this is not going to be a remake. This is going to be a remaster. And finally, some love for Final Fantasy VIII. My favorite, my personal favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. Now, wishful thinking here. What would I enjoy? What would I like? I would like a full remake of Final Fantasy VIII, like the one we're going to get with Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, it is not going to happen, but at least we are going to get a remaster. This game is one of the black sheep in the franchise. Me personally, it truly is my favorite Final Fantasy game. Not because of the characters and the story. To be honest with you, I really prefer the story and characters of Final Fantasy VII, but it's because of the world, it's because of the mechanics, it's because of the presentation of the game. The ambience. It is a crazy game, definitely not a Final Fantasy game for every gamer out there, but it definitely is a Final Fantasy game for me. It is the perfect JRPG for me. I think that it is the perfect game. Again guys, it is just my opinion, it is not a law, it is not a rule. However, let me talk about the remaster. From the footage that we got, it seemed okay, and yeah, I must be honest here, it felt okay. Just okay. But just the fact that I'm going to be able to play this game on a modern console, on a modern television, that's enough for me. But this was just the announcement, so we really have to wait for more news. And they didn't show any physical release of the game, but I mean, they need to make one. And I think it's going to happen. I mean, it happened with Final Fantasy X and X too. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. I'm very excited. I'm super hyped. I think that this is a great era to be a Final Fantasy fan. And I'm totally geeking out here, representing the colors. And yeah, it was amazing. Without a doubt, my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. Now, I just have a couple of notes here from the rest of the presentation, and let's face it, I was so hyped about these games that, the rest of the presentation kind of flew by me. Okay, Life is Strange 2, I can't wait to play this game. I don't know if you guys can see right here, I have both collector's editions of the previous Life is Strange games, and I'm a fan, I'm a huge fan. And I don't like to play these games by episodes, I really like to wait for the physical release, for this nice collector's edition, and just play the whole game straight. So I heard nothing but good things about Life is Strange 2, and I really didn't watch a lot of stuff about the game because I really don't want any spoilers. But as soon as the game comes out, I'm going to buy it day one. And now remaster Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, well, this is a game that I skipped back in the day, but it's an iconic game on the GameCube. I didn't have the GameCube back in the day, a friend of mine had one, and he had Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, and I played a little bit of the game, but to be honest with you guys, it is not my type of game. Definitely not my type of Final Fantasy game. But again, this is going to be great for the fans. Octopath Traveler is coming to the PC, and that's awesome. I mean, Octopath Traveler, guys, is one of my favorite video games of all time, and I'm not kidding. I love the game, a beautiful love letter to the 16-bit era, and PC gamers are going to taste that game, and I think it's great. The Last Remnant, another remaster. Well, to be honest with you, I didn't play the game. It looks good, it looks beautiful, but like I said, I didn't play the original one. Now, we are also going to get a couple of Romancing Saga games, and Romancing Saga, I played Romancing Saga 3, I didn't finish the game, but I played it like, 10 years ago on emulation. That is definitely a game that I want to have for my Super Famicom collection, and it's great that we are going to have remakes of these games. Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and Dragon Quest Builders 2 is going to be released July 12th, and well, Dragon Quest Builders, again guys, really not my type of game. And yes, it kinda reminds me a little bit of Minecraft, and I'm not being a hater here. It is totally okay to enjoy Minecraft, it is totally okay to enjoy Dragon Quest Builders, but again, just not my type of game. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to get a new DLC. Now, here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts 3 and the whole DLC thing. As a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts, you guys know that it is my favorite video game of all time. Kingdom Hearts 3, it was totally worth the waiting. I think that the game, it delivers. And yes, the game was kind of short, maybe a little bit easy, but the truth is that I think we are going to get more and more DLCs for the game. And well, it is what it is a sign of times, it's modern age. Probably, I think that what is going to happen is that we are going to get, a full version of the game, like, Game of the Years, maybe not Game of the Years, but a complete edition of Kingdom Hearts 3, with, all of the DLCs, etc. I truly think that that is what's going to happen with Kingdom Hearts 3. New expansion for Final Fantasy XIV Online. Well, this is an online game that I played a little bit. I enjoyed the game when it was released, but at the time I was also playing World of Warcraft, and nowadays I just don't have the time for online games anymore. And the final one, the new Avengers Game. Looks awesome, looks impressive, super realistic. It's literally the Avengers on a video game. And I know, guys, I'm being a little bit unfair here, because, the whole presentation was great, was good, a lot of great games, but like I said, guys, I'm being a little bit of a fanboy here, because after these two babies right here, the rest of the presentation was a bonus. Hands down to Square Enix E3 presentation 2019. And let me know about you guys, let me know about your reactions and thoughts about the E3 presentation of Square Enix. Your thoughts about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, your thoughts about the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, and let me know what is your favorite Final Fantasy game of all time, and what other games got you hyped with last night's presentation. Let me know on the comment section below. If you want to support the show, feel free to check out the Retro Raiders Patreon page. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourself, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.